Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to your vocabulary and spelling words for lesson 29, the planets. We are going to get started with our spelling words first. And so we are going to be talking about prefixes this week. And a prefix is a word part that is added to the beginning of another word to form a new word with its own meaning. So if you look at our prefixes that we're looking at this week, we have over, non, and by. So the first one we're going to look at is non, right here in the middle. And non means not or without. And we've talked about non before, so you guys are really familiar with non. Now the two we really haven't spent a lot of time on is over and by. But if you think of over, so over means more than or above. So like overfeed, that would mean to be more than that you should have given or over and above the amount you should have given. Now, by is an interesting one. So you guys ride a bicycle, and so when you think about your bicycle, think about how many wheels there are on your bicycle. So it has two wheels. You used to ride a tricycle, which we know like triangle means three. So bicycle means two. So we're going to get started. And our first word is overnight. And our prefix is over and our root word is night. And when you put them together, you have overnight. Our next word is bicycle. Bi meaning two. So we have a two-wheeled bicycle. Nonstop. Non is our prefix. So that means without stopping. Nonstop. Then we have overdue. That means more than, like you've gone over the due date, so you've gone more days than you should have. So over is your prefix and due is your root word. Our next word is overlook. So you've overlooked something, you've gone above looking where you should have. Biweekly. So biweekly means twice. So that would be twice weekly. So overflow, you have your over. So that would mean more than or above. So overflow, it comes over the top. So nonsense would be not to make sense, nonsense. So we have oversee is our prefix. Overhead is our prefix. Nonfiction. Overcoat. Nonfat. Overdone. Biplane. Overtaken. Overheat. And you can see definitely the two words over and heat, because over is its own word also. So you can see the beginning of over and the beginning of the second word. And then we have nonstick, non and stick. So these should be very easy for you to spell. Nontoxic is prefix, over prefix, overboard. Okay. So just remember, let's get back to the beginning here. You have your three prefixes that we are talking about. Remember, a prefix is a part that is at the beginning. We have over, non, and bi. And we have over, which means more than or above. We have non, which means not or without. And then we have bi, which is twice or two, like every two. Okay, so I hope that helps you this week with your spelling words. So we're going to move on to our vocabulary words for lesson 29, the planets. So our first word is distinct. So distinct is when there are several similar but separate objects, they are said to be distinct. So if you look at the picture, you have red, white, and blue, three very distinct colored piles, so you can see them. So I made three distinct piles of marbles. Next would be slightly. When something happens slightly, you can barely tell that it happened. So that's a car mirror in the picture, in the photograph, and it says, Mom slightly moved the car mirror to see the road. So it just moved a slight bit, a very small amount. You could barely tell. Infinite. When there is so much of something that it cannot be measured, its size is said to be infinite. So if you look at those numbers to the right, you think about numbers and you know that there's an amount of numbers exist that is infinite. It never stops. Our next is expansive. Something that is expansive covers a lot of space. So we've been talking about the solar system, and we know the solar system is so expansive. It's huge. So if you look at the picture there are things that we see on Earth, like the Pacific Ocean is an expansive body of water. Rotate. Something that rotates spins like a top. And if you look to the right, there is a globe that rotates so you can see all around the world. And we know we rotate and we also revolve. And we rotate on our axis as we revolve around the sun. So hopefully you're remembering some of your solar system information that we did in November and December. All right, so steady. A light that is steady always looks the same and does not change or go out. And you see the picture, the photograph to the right. I was able to walk on the beam because my feet were steady. Okay. Next is reflect. When something reflects, light bounces off its surface instead of passing through it. So if you look at the photograph, you can see this is the surface of the water. You have a flower up top and it says the water reflects the beautiful flower. This right here is the reflection of the actual flower. Surface. The surface of something is the top part of it. The drop of water made ripples across the surface. So we were just looking at a reflection. So now we're actually just looking at the surface, which is the top of the water. And you can see this drop of water, when it hit the surface, rippled out. Evidence. Evidence is proof of what has happened. So the cat prints were evidence that she has spilled the ink. And at the beginning of the school year, we did some scientific experiments where we had the mystery of the missing, I think it was the missing bears, music bears, that we had to figure out who took the missing bears, and we used different evidence. We used a fingerprint, we used color writing, and we used wicking. All of those beginning of the year science experiments that we learned about, we used as evidence to figure out who stole the missing bears. Appear. How something appears is the way it looks or seems to be. And you can see right in this photograph, our dog seems to appear every night around supper time. I'm sure that happens to a lot of us at home. Your animals, your cats, your dogs, they appear whenever there's food around. So that is the last of our vocabulary words for this week. And it's going to be going with our story, The Planets. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.